Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We're going to talk NHL 19 campaign mode. In the background here, we got NHL 18 Be a Pro. And as you can tell, this is not an NHL 19. I hope it's not an NHL 19. It could be. This might be what we're looking at next season. I hope not. But this is the first time I've tried a video like this. And today what I want to do, as you guys can tell by the title, is I want to try to make a concept Be a Pro campaign mode. Because as we know, Be a Pro hasn't been touched in like 3 years in NHL, and when it was last touched, it was actually downgraded. It went from somewhat decent Be a Pro mode to it actually got worse when they put it back into game, believe it or not. So I'm here today proposing a concept. I want to hear your guys' opinions on it, on what you guys would think. Maybe this would be a good concept to add into NHL 19 Be a Pro to make the campaign better. Again, like I said, just a concept. I've never tried anything like this on YouTube, so you guys have to know what you're thinking about it in general. But what I want to present to you today is pretty much you growing up as a hockey player, as a child, whatever, going into the NHL draft. And when we get to the NHL draft, that's kind of where the conclusion of the concept ends. Obviously, they can build onto it after that. But let's go ahead and get started. You got to listen to me on this one. Just bear with me. I'll try to make it look decent here in the background. I can't, sorry, I'm not rich or intelligent, so I can't really make animated cutscenes of NHL players, and I don't think EA would let me use their game code. I don't know. You know, if I called them up, I was like, you mind if I, yeah, I don't think it'd work. You get the point here, so let's go ahead and try this. So you have to bear with me on the, you know, examples of the backgrounds and the pictures and stuff. It's obviously not going to look like NHL 19. If it does, hey, bonus, but if it doesn't, it's most likely. So here we go. First of all, let's go ahead and start this off. You're a rare breed, right? You came up in Canada land, of course, I mean, like every other hockey player. But unlike most people, you didn't start skating when you was like 6 years old. You grew up in poverty. Your parents couldn't afford any of that hockey equipment. You guys know how expensive hockey equipment could be. Regardless, your love for hockey was still unfathomable. You never missed a single Jets game for 3 straight years. Finally, when you got to be about 11 years old, you started shoveling driveways, mowing lawns, you know, making some money on the side where you could finally build up enough money to buy yourself some good hockey gear. By the time you hit about 12 years old, you know, you signed up for some pee-wee hockey or local hockey league, nothing big, just a little pee-wee thing. And that is about the picture I want to paint for the intro. You know, if you play Call of Duty, you play any game with like a campaign, you have a little bit of an intro, and then you start getting down to doing things, you know, playing the game, doing certain tasks and whatnot. That's just kind of an intro. You're watching yourself grow up here, watching yourself, you know, mow lawns, whatever. If you have to do that, you're watching yourself do that to kind of get an understanding of the background of your person here. Like I said, you won't really be doing anything but watching the intro to try to get the feel of the campaign. So here we are though, Pee-wee hockey. As we mentioned, this is your first time ever playing hockey. You're behind the 8 ball opposed to everyone else at this rink right now. These guys have been playing for a few years. You're literally just strapping on the skates and going at it. So this is where we're going to see some action from the user, you the person playing the game. It's your first time skating, right? So I want the user to go out there, control your kid. We're going to call him, let's call him Billy. We're going to call the kid Billy instead of calling him player and user. So you're going to be controlling Billy, and you got to practice skating for the first time. Now, obviously, we might have to throw a cutscene in there from falling down a couple times because it's obviously not going to work right away for the guy. It's his first time. But we're going to have him go out there, and you're going to practice skating. It won't be your typical NHL controls where you just hold up on the left stick or right stick. Make it a little bit complicated just for that little, you know, action, a little scene there. Maybe you got to press A, X, B, or what, square, circle. Square B, there isn't circle. I'm getting my Xbox and PS4s mixed up. Square B. No, that's not right. X and B. Okay, I got it. X and B, so maybe you hit X when you're skating with your left leg, B with your right. You know what I'm saying? To practice skating, to get the hang of it for the first time, and once you get the hang of it, obviously you completed that. You can just do minor tasks like that as a child growing up. Throw them in there if you want to. Maybe practice your first shot. Maybe if you're a defenseman, practice your defense goal, practice goaltending, whatever. Stuff like that when you're first starting to get up there. Thing is, though, I do understand that we don't want to sit here being an 11-year-old forever, so maybe just 1 or 2 different things you do, and you know, progress it quickly. Then again, you know, show some highlights, show some cutscenes of how your player's doing from 11 years old up into 14, because this is where the magic happens. No, not babies, but where our player, Billy, like I said, we're calling him Billy, is moving up and opening eyes. He's spending 5-6 hours a night at the rink, still doing work, trying to make some money on the side as well, and Billy's about to be a freshman in high school, right? This guy's a young stud coming into high school. People are already saying this is the best player they've seen out of Winnipeg since Jonathan Toews. We have one problem though, as you can imagine. All this time spent outside of school doing non-school related activities has resulted in Billy's grades slipping. And Billy's mom is a very concerned young little lady. Old little lady, depends how old she was when she had the kid. She could have been 16. She could be like 28 right now. Or she could be 45. Not the point. But here we are, concerned little mom is refusing to let little Billy, he's getting pretty big actually, he's almost 15 years old, to play hockey this season if he can't get his grades up. So again, this is where the user comes in. So we'll just show like a little clip of Billy in school for a little bit, maybe throw a few clues in there, and then afterwards, you, the user, have to go out there and answer like a 5-question test. If you fail that test, no hockey for a year. But if you pass it, you're good to go, you're ready to play this season, etc. And now the problem with this is where the curveball comes in. If you don't get to play hockey for that first freshman year, your draft stock's going to be affected mightily because you're not playing. They can't see you play, so that's going to affect where you get drafted. If you even get drafted, you could completely tank here and not even make it to the NHL, but we're just being hypothetical here saying you are doing very well. Like we said, next Jonathan Toews, we're talking first-round pick right now, and you went out there and didn't get to play your freshman year. It's going to raise big red flags for the scouts. But like I said, if you pass, you're all good. And as Billy gets older, he's going to go out there and he's going to play for the Brandon Wheat Kings. And his team, we're going to have make the Mem Cup Finals. In his final year before he can enter the draft, they're going to be in the Mem Cup Finals. And again, this is where the scouting report can come in, affect where he gets drafted, whether he gets drafted high, low, etc. And base it on performance of the Mem Cup Finals, because that's where the scouts will be watching. How he performs in them finals will affect his draft stock a lot. But that's the tough part here, because in most video games, it's not even just NHL or stuff. Like, it's tough to base draft stock for whatever reason on gameplay and stuff. Like, they can't really evaluate it properly, it seems like. I don't know. But I was thinking maybe, you know what, 3 points per game in the Mem Cup Finals, top 5 pick in said round, whether it be the first, second, third, fourth. You know, 2 points per game, maybe 5th to 15th, and then a 1 point per game player, a late round draft pick, whether it be a late, you know, 25th overall in the first, second, third, fourth, etc. Now, obviously, that'd have to be tailored for defensemen and goalie because, you know, they're not going to be point per game players. But you get the point. And like I said, you can do other things on the way up. You know, have the guy condense some interviews, talk to the coaches, you know, evaluate his IQ and stuff for hockey to get a better understanding, you know, if he's failing, you know, simple hockey questions that the coach is asking him or do simple tasks on his way up into entering the NHL draft, whether it be when he's 15, 17, whatever. That kind of stuff will affect his draft stock. The more he does wrong, the lower he's going to go. The more he does right, the higher he's going to go. We can be anywhere from a first overall, first round pick to maybe being undrafted, depending how bad you do. Like I said, the interviews, the coach talk, that stuff can have an effect. If you want to go out there being sassy and negative and not wanting to learn, your draft stock's going to go down. You're getting questions right. You're being positive. You're being a good player. You're getting better. You're playing with your teammates well and everything like that. Your draft stock's going to go up. Just many things in there. You know, I'm just, like I said, just trying to paint the scene here. I ain't trying to write out the whole book. It sounds like the whole book, though. Put that stuff together, and it's going to make you go, like I said, could be first, could be 60th. You never know. But this is where the money gets made, EA. If you can't do any of that, can you at least do this part right here? And that is a dang draft room cutscene. All I want once in my life is Batman to go up there, call my name, give me a high five for getting drafted, first overall, or like I said, possibly 60th, depending how you are. This is where you go up there, you'll meet your team. Like I said, you'll get the photos and everything like that. And that's it. That is the end of my concept. From there, obviously, they'll have some, whether you be in the NHL, whether you be in the AHL, you know, your first year, depending where you get drafted, etc., etc. You have storylines building up to that, have storylines building up maybe a Hall of Fame, maybe an All-Star game, maybe some more press conferences, stuff like that thrown in there as well. But this was just kind of like the intro, because you know how most story modes are. That first year, that first couple years, I mean, once you get past that, in most of them, it kind of gets to be repetitive. But it's always about building up the intent to want to play it in the first place, giving you some reasons, giving you some storylines, and this is kind of what I threw together here today. So you have to let me know what you think about it. As always, though, guys, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully we see a campaign or story mode in NHL 18, because I just can't play Be a Pro. I tried it. I really did. I played like 3 episodes, and that was it. Otherwise, though, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.